Welcome to the Transatlantic Entrepreneur Podcast, the ultimate guide for European founders and businesses looking to grow their revenue with American clients, partners, and investors. The U.S. market is the land of opportunity, where ambitious entrepreneurs break through barriers, win more clients, and scale their success to new heights. Now it's your turn to make your mark. Here's your host, founder of the company Transatlantia and trusted mentor behind Europe's most successful transatlantic entrepreneurs, Christina Rebuffet-Broadus.
If you're trying to build your authority in the US market and get more clients, but you're not really getting any traction, there's probably a reason. It's mostly because what works in Europe doesn't always work across the Atlantic. In the US, it's faster, it's louder, it's more results driven, and without the right strategies, you risk being invisible. In this episode, I'm going to show you the key differences between the US and the European markets, but also behind American buyer psychology, why authority is critical, and how to position yourself as the go-to expert for American clients. Now, if you don't know me, I'm Christina Rebuffet-Broadus. I am the founder of the company Transatlantia, formerly known as American Market Alchemist. I did a whole podcast to explain why we changed the name, and you can go and listen to that if you're curious. Anyway, we're a coaching and consulting company, and we help European entrepreneurs make American clients their number one source of revenue. Our clients have secured multi-million-dollar contracts. They have gained U.S. industry recognition. And to help you achieve similar results, I do regular workshops on this topic. They're absolutely free. The next one is on December 11th, all about the steps that you need to take to stand out with your American clients. And the notes to get your spot for that workshop are in the notes below. I think I said the notes, the link, you know what I mean. The link to get your spot, it's in the notes below the episode. Classic call to action here. Anyway, let's talk about why authority matters in the US. Now, let's contrast first. In Europe, now and disclaimer here, I've been living and working in France for 20 years now, and I've built up my company here in France over the past 10 years. And so what I've seen is that authority often comes from your qualifications, your diplomas, the schools that you went to, the companies that you worked for, possibly your long-standing relationships. In the US, your authority is more like something that you actively project in the present, let's say. Americans, they want to see visible proof of your expertise now or in the recent past. And this is things like case studies, testimonials, it could be white papers on the results that you've gotten. Anything that shows the work that I'm doing now, it is capable of getting you these results. And things like diplomas, that's just not going to cut it. Just a personal example, like I said, I've had my company for 10 years. I work with several different partners over in the US. I don't think I've ever sent my resume or my CV to a single American partner. However, I just started working with a company here in France a couple of months ago. One of the first things that they asked me for was my CV. So just that can give you an example just from a personal anecdote. Speaking of projecting your results and your authority and your credibility, let's just take an example here. Let's imagine that we have two consultants in, marketing, let's say. One of them is an entrepreneur that has all of the right diplomas. They went to all of the right schools. They do have a LinkedIn profile, but the last time they published anything was like 8 months ago, and it was sharing someone else's post. On the other hand, we have similar entrepreneur, marketing consultant. They have a LinkedIn profile. It's been optimized to really act almost as a sales page for their services. They are showcasing client success stories. They are posting some things about maybe their work in the American market, or at least about their industry in relation to the American market. They are sharing quantified results that they have gotten for their clients. And maybe they don't have the most impressive academic background. Maybe they didn't even do a diploma in marketing 20 years ago, but they're getting the results now, and they're positioning themselves as a thought leader. Now, for your American clients, I mean, it's a pretty obvious choice which one they would rather work with. It's the one who is speaking out, who's showing their authority, who's showing their involvement in the industry, and that just gives them more credibility and authority than that other person who's just kind of, well, another marketing consultant in the vast market of, competitors there. Another point is there are a lot of key differences in U.S. buyer psychology that contrast with the way that Europeans make decisions to buy. The first thing is just the speed of decisions. American buyers, they tend to decide quickly when they see the value and they see that you can get results. I had one client, she said, I went into a meeting with an American client and he said, how much does your solution cost? Show me some examples of results that you've gotten with other clients. And she did that. And he said, all right, now let's talk about what you do. So if you can show results up front, you'll start building that trust faster to be able to maybe convince them by presenting other arguments. But you've got to have that data up front. The second thing is American clients tend to be very outcome oriented. They care more about what's in it for me, what results can I expect to get, what is the return on investment, much more so than your methods or your credentials. If you start out by talking about your methods and the steps and how you're going to get them to the result, and then you get to the results, you're going to lose them along the way, and they're going to be like, why are you telling me all of this? That's not going to help you to build up your authority and your credibility, because they never get to hear about the results. That kind of ties in with the third point, is direct communication. Bold and clear messaging is what creates confidence. It's what helps them to trust in you. If you are clear about what you do, if you're clear about the results that you get, if you are confident when you talk about it, and this could be in sales meetings or on social media, that is going to inspire a sense of trust for your American clients. Subtlety, humility, modesty, being more reserved about what you do, your results, what you're selling, that comes off as uncertainty. And that is not what you want to do when you're trying to convince someone to work with you, especially going into a different culture. And the fourth thing is storytelling. Now, yes, Americans, they want to see the numbers, they want to see the results and the concrete data, but we also really like stories. So if you can pair your facts and your data and your quantified results with stories about how you helped your clients, about the struggles they were facing, about what they wanted to achieve, about the work that you did with them, the results you achieved, and on an emotional level, what that meant for your client, that just makes for a much more powerful argument in showcasing your authority and your credibility. Because we want to see what you can do, but we also want to know the impact that you're making. And that impact is also a big part of credibility and authority. Now, taking all of this into consideration, there are 3 common mistakes that I see very often from European entrepreneurs who want to build up their presence in the American market and get American clients. The first one that I often see, it's just being too humble, downplaying their results, not talking about the results, not putting that information out there and being proud of it. Now, in the US, silence and modesty and being reserved, that's not seen as something that is professional. It's seen as a lack of confidence and uncertainty about what you're able to achieve for your clients. The second one is over focusing on credentials or methods, and this depends on the person. But like we said, very often your diploma's not what's important. We want to see the results that you're getting. And your method, well, the method is just the means to an end, but what's going to convince Americans first to listen to you is going to be the end, the results, the return on investment, that kind of thing. So start with that, and then you can fill in the details later, or maybe even not fill in the details. They might not even care. The third thing is neglecting visibility and the importance of visibility. A lot of times I hear people say, you know what, I'm a founder of a company. I don't have time to be on LinkedIn all day. I don't need to be out there showing people, telling these stories and all of that marketing BS because my product is good and we've got the technology or we've got, the service and the method. But if you don't have that active online presence and you're not talking about what you're doing, if you're not spreading the word, you're essentially invisible to your American clients. And in English, we have an expression, out of sight, out of mind, meaning basically, if they can't see you, they can't think about you when they need what it is you have to offer, even if you are the perfect person for them. A little example of that is right now, I'm working with a French liqueur brand. They already had a little bit of a presence in the US market, but they wanted to build it up more. And so what we started working on was, what are the arguments that they put forth to their ideal American client, who is distributors and wholesalers? Now, distributors and wholesalers, they don't really care so much about the history of your fourth generation company or about the fact that the craftsmanship, the heritage, etc. Yes, that comes in later, but what they're really focused on is things like margins when they distribute your products. How fast are they going to be able to sell your products? How are they going to be able to get repeat business by selling your products? And so we worked on positioning their messaging to focus more on that. And at the same time, we're building up their LinkedIn presence and their strategy to tell those stories, but also to work on their personal brand so that they stand out as unique in what they do, what they get for their ideal target clients. And, yes, the heritage and the craftsmanship is part of it, but it's not the biggest thing because of who their target audience is. Their target audience is interested in sales and margins and things like that. So, a couple of strategies to keep in mind as you're building your authority in the US market. Define your personal brand. You want to be clear about what you're known for, about what you're all about as a professional and as a person. This is what's going to make you unique and to make you stand out among all of the people doing the same thing that you're doing. You want to also create thought leadership content. Yes, sharing short, actionable tips for your ideal clients, but also talking about your industry, about your involvement in the industry, sharing articles, statistics, data, anything that shows, yes, I am here to sell my services or my products. That's, of course, totally fine in the American market. We know that you created a business to make money, but we also want to see that you're not in it just to make money, that you're also to become someone in your industry. Of course, social proof like testimonials and quantified testimonials, that helps to prove your impact. And if you don't have US clients yet, then frame similar results in a way that speaks to the priorities of your American clients. And of course, invest in networking. Networking, it's like, I say invest because it's like investing in the stock market. You've got to put in money a little bit over the long term before you can start seeing those return on investments. It's not like you put in the money and you get the return immediately. That's networking is sort of a mid to long-term strategy, but build up those connections strategically, nurture those relationships, and you're going to get a faster return on investment in your networking efforts. So when you get all of this right, American clients see you as the trusted expert, the go-to person to help them solve their problem. You'll build up that trust before you even talk to them, and you'll attract better opportunities from high-paying clients to speaking gigs, if that's important for you. And building up your authority in the US market, it's not just about adapting to the culture and the language, it's about thriving by aligning to American buyer psychology. And you can start that today by updating your LinkedIn profile to make it like a sales page that speaks to your ideal American clients. Share some results, share client success stories, even take the initiative and reach out to some American contacts. Those small steps are going to build momentum towards your success. Now, if all of this resonates with you, but you want to go further, you can go ahead and follow me for more tips on succeeding in the US market. But a big step you can take, and it's absolutely free, is to join my workshop on December 11th to help you to identify some quick victories, some little tweaks that you can make already to help you boost your revenue with American clients. Like I said, the link to save your spot for that workshop is in the notes below this episode. And let's go out there and make your authority impossible to ignore, even in the American market.
Ready to get more American clients and grow your revenue in the US market? Join our next Transatlantic Entrepreneur Workshop and start building your US client pipeline today. Reserve your spot now using the link in the show notes. Set your course, take bold action, and let's chart your course to success in the US.